Mob thinking. In the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verses 1 through 11, is the famous story of the woman caught in adultery. The people who bring the woman before Jesus are not a crowd. They are a mob. They are ready to stone this woman who they see as a sinner. Mobs are dangerous. A person in a mob will agree to violence that he or she would never consider as an individual. Being part of a mob generates a feeling of indisputable righteousness and unity, even though the actions of a mob are often unjust and contemptible. Group violence can be documented throughout history. The people witnessing the refined torture of criminals in the Roman Colosseum were not spectators. They were a mob. The same is true for those who cheered the deaths of those at the Spanish Inquisition, the Salem witch trials, and the lynchings of Black Americans. In John's Gospel, Jesus opposes the will of the mob. He diffuses their righteousness in a single sentence. Let the one among you who is without sin be the first to cast a stone at her. A key word here is one. Jesus wants the people around him to stop thinking like a mob and start thinking as individuals. He wants each of them to remember what he or she has done or failed to do. He wants every member of the mob to realize what Peter realizes during the Passion account in Luke chapter 22, verses 14 through 23 and verse 56. Peter, who boasted he would die with Jesus, instead denies knowing him. He fails as a disciple. Jesus' strategy toward the mob is to remind each person within it that he or she has also failed. The people who stood together in violence as a mob depart as individuals. One by one, they walk away knowing that they are sinners. Luke's Gospel calls us to reject mob thinking. A family can become a mob when it cuts off a member who has failed to meet its expectation. There can be mobs at school which ridicule people. Social circles become mobs when they demean someone who is on welfare. Lockstep political thinking can create mobs that feed anger and lead to violence. Jesus asks us to stop thinking with the mob. Instead, he asks us to stand alone before God, remembering what God has done for us and how often we have failed to respond. In that silence before the Lord, we will lose our desire to throw stones. We will become less likely to judge, hate, or hurt each other. In God's presence, our righteousness and contempt will fade, and the only words we can speak will be those of the tax collector in Luke chapter 18, verse 13. O God, be merciful to me, a sinner. For more stories, please visit our website, www.pamphletstoinspire.com.